Welcome once again to Hunter's Entertainment on Twitch.tv. My name is Noxweiler Burf, and tonight I am your game master and guide through the dark world of Outbreak Undead, Rag and Bone. We have gathered here our survivors, the players that will be pitted against the world around them. This is not a game for the light of heart. I encourage you all to pay close attention to our content warnings. There is no happy ending here. There is no castle, there is no princess, and there is no magical sword. This is a game that tests the players and their willingness to survive. Each of these characters has been created with a specific backstory to delve into the darkest parts of the human nature that we have chosen to explore. I have worked with each of these players very closely, and we have shared where our boundaries lie. We have talked about the tale that we will be telling tonight, and we have all agreed to walk this path together. You, however, are also a part of this journey. We have partnered with Foreteller, and together we have created the Scry application. You will find it in the panels below. This is going to allow you to divert very crucial supplies to the survivors, not just the players, but the communities that they represent. This is zombie survival horror at its finest. You will make the decisions that determine who lives and who dies. But enough about that. We have much to do, and I'd like to introduce you to our survivors. Each of them will be telling you about their character, but after that, we will begin our story. Michelle, would you please introduce yourself and tell people who you will be playing?
Hi, you can probably hear my dog in the background, sorry. My name is Michelle and Bradley. I am playing Juniper Song today. I was out last week, but Juniper is still in the same place she was last time. She was taking the two twins down the mine shaft and encountered some of Blockbuster's old friends. More on that later. You can find me everywhere on the internet at I am Chubby Bunny. I am here every Tuesday. I'm also on Wednesdays, just not this week, over at Official Paizo, doing their Pathfinder 2E beginner box session for the season. And on Fridays, you can find me over on the YouTube called Total Nerd. We do deep dives about video game stuff over there. It's very fun. And we have a new show debuting next year called Play or Let Die. That got pushed back a little bit, but it's a fun nostalgia look at video games. So that's me.
Thank you again for being with us. Luis, please tell us a little bit about who you'll be playing tonight and yourself.
Hey everybody, I'm Luis Carrazzo. I'm playing Lampwick. Lampwick is a really his moral code is, I think I always talk about his like moral compass. He definitely is the kind of person that pre-apocalypse looked at people as a means to an end, especially certain kinds of people, and would kind of hone in on something that was missing in them and try to exploit that to his benefit. Maybe somebody might describe him as manipulative, perhaps, but I believe he would see himself as a survivor, and his particular moral compass does have space for loyalty for certain people. So he's a complex guy. And I'm an actor. I'm sometimes on TV and in commercials, and something's gonna pop into your TV's 2021 early on. So that's something that'll be fun to share with you guys. If you want to keep in touch, you can find me on all the social medias. It's just my name, Luis Carrazzo. That combination, you'll find me. So there's that.
Thank you for being with us again, Luis. Lampwick is in a fairly dire situation, heavily wounded from the events that have taken place before the safe house that you are currently within was found. We'll see how that resolves itself.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Markia, would you please tell everyone a little bit about yourself and who you'll be playing tonight?
Yes, I am playing Achira Sampson. Achira is a stealthy rogue type of person. She has a mounting body count. Right now, apart from Rowan, probably has the biggest body count that we've established thus far than the other players. But along with that, it appears that she's going through some sort of arc where she is trying to help others, sometimes as much to their detriment, like when she tried to help Lampwick and actually ended up hurting him more. But right now, she is in an alliance with Dr. Maria Espinosa and is in a safe house with Rowan Pierre Philippe.
It is
Sorry,
Philippe.
Philippe. Philippe, and then also Lampwick, and we'll see what happens because a lot of people have different alliances going on right now. And first and foremost, in her core, Achira looks out for herself first. As for me, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Markia McCarty. I'm sure they'll drop it in Discord. It's exactly as it sounds when you say it, at least in my head, it is. There might be a hidden E in there for other people. Yeah, as far as upcoming things, please on VOD look at Hunter's Gathering on Hunter's Entertainment. Also look at Something Scary. You can do youtube.com/snarled. But as for me personally, I've taken the rest of 2020 off because this is a garbage year and you have to have a buffer before you go into 2021. So if that changes, it'll be on my social media. But otherwise than that, it is just excellent streams with friends like this one.
Thank you again for being with us. Alcuin, welcome back. Would you mind telling us a little bit about yourself and the character you will be playing tonight?
I'm Alcuin Gersh, and I'm playing Kusanagi, who is a rag and bone tape trader who sees himself as sort of a caretaker of mythology from the old world. I was on the trail of Blockbuster, a renowned figure in my community, when I ran into these other folks in this mine. And we stumbled upon Blockbuster again, but this time not alive. I think I kind of see myself as now possibly an inheritor for Blockbuster's legacy. I don't necessarily have a ton of survival skills, and I think sometimes I put my passion for knowledge ahead of my own safety. So we'll see how that works out. I have made some connections with some of the other characters. I think Achira and I did have some moments of sort of shared nostalgia, and it's nice to be around people who are gonna understand the cultural context that you come from, even if that's been gone for 25 years. As for me, you can find me on a couple different places. On Thursdays, I'm on the D&D Twitch channel on a show called A Darkened Wish with May from this show. You can also see me with Michelle doing a series called The Red Opera, which is based on a Kickstarted product that's coming out in the spring, but you can still pre-order it. We've done a pilot for it, and we also did a charity special for it recently. You can find both of those. So look at theredopera.com, and you can find those.
We are so thankful that you are with us, and we appreciate you joining us. Last but not least, we have a very special guest. Cynthia, would you please tell everyone a little bit about yourself and who you'll be playing tonight?
Cool. Hey guys, I'm Cynthia Marie. You can find me on Twitter at CynDancer or Instagram Cynthia__Marie. I play Nellie G on LA by Night, which is, most people are probably familiar or whatever, White Wolf or World of Darkness. I play Vampire the Masquerade. Outside of that, because you can find all the VODs on YouTube for the seasons, including Mr. Luis over here playing one of the characters as well. You can find me on various different streams for D&D all over the place, or just go on social media and I post all the links to what I do. But tonight, I will be playing Aria Cantos, and I think I'm gonna kind of just leave it at that, unless you would like me to describe a little bit more or let it be revealed in game.
I think we should reveal it within this story.
All right, sounds good.
Excellent. Last, I would like to thank both JB Jara and Alex Hillman for joining us tonight and both helping us to moderate and run the technical direction of the stream. Along with all of the moderators that we have within our Hunters Entertainment chat, we could not do this without their assistance, and we are grateful. Finally, I would like to inform all of you that your actions will have consequences. If we are able to reach either 100 follows or 15 subscriptions within the week where we play next, we will be awarding each of the survivors one additional competency point. If that goal is not reached, they will only be allowed to start the session with 3 competency points. And as we have seen in previous sessions, that can be detrimental to their survival. For now, we will leave you with the introduction, but we will be back. Thank you for joining us.
This is Big Red on CB Channel 0927.5500. Emergency broadcast. Responding to a white flag from EOL01. EOL01, we read you loud and clear and are sure as shit, hoping that you got something worthwhile for us. My troops are getting antsy after that mess at Hope Hollow and want some more meaningful action than clearing the dead. Over.
10-4 here. Read you loud and clear, Big Red. Thanks for responding. If you're looking for action, then consider me Santa Claus in today's Christmas. We got a full-on 4-alarm dumpster fire out at that new community, Grey Ridge Farms. Something went completely fucking AWOL, and the rag and bone that I sent in to deal with them drew the biggest damned horde I've seen in 10 years. Over.
Oh, we know all about the Grey Ridge community, boss. We asked him for some medical trade last month, and that bitch of a doctor wouldn't do the deal. He said that our services weren't worth the price, and that once our people started getting sick in our ranks, we might see things differently. Over.
I'm sorry, who the fuck is this? Over.
Cool your jets, 10-4. She's with me. If you want our help, you need local talent. The shit just went down yesterday, and while we can get you some support on the spot, Rowan here is one of the people that's gonna do it. She and Wild Bill are close enough to make the trip in a couple of hours, if I give the word.
I hope you aren't one of those evolutionary loose ends that still thinks women should know their place, 10-4.
Listen here, friend. I just need to know who I'm dealing with, and I sure as shit ain't a fan of surprises. And if you think that I'm against strong women, I beg you to make your way down here and have a sit down with the missus. This woman runs an entire community and still finds the time to order my skinny ass around. So, politely, know that when we're talking business, I treat everyone with the same amount of fuck you very much. Over.
Old Sally here, from somewhere along the ruins of I-70, outside the steel coffin on the right side of the Allegheny. I don't have much time, but the caravan is close, and we have a shipment of oil and refined gas coming up from the south. We can lend some hands and firepower if y'all get your ships in a line. Over.
Well, I'll be pickled and plucked, old Sally. I thought you swore off the Alliance and ended things cold after last winter and that mess with Fairbanks. Over.
I forgave, but I haven't forgotten, Red. Get this straight. You owe us for the oil trades that Fairbanks welched on. 10-4 has promised to make that good. That means the caravan is back and willing to play ball. Not everyone burns every bridge that they cross. Over.
Look, we ain't got the fucking time on this one. The Alliance need Grey Ridge, and I'm asking both of you to come together and do what you can to see that they survive this. I have a few scattered groups that are carrying radios in the area, and they're going to spread the word locally, but the two of you represent the only sizable hope that this community's got. I'm willing to make trade allowances, and to see to it that you're set right for the cost of doing business. But we don't have time for fiddly negotiations here. The medicine Grey Ridge is capable of producing could save hundreds of lives, or more. And I don't need to tell you how important that is. Last year was a real bitch, and all of the communities are getting smaller, not larger. Every life counts now. So, I'm real sorry, but the time for cat and mouse is over and done. Can I count on you? Over.
And then I saw a great white throne, and him who was seated upon it. The earth and the heavens fled from his presence, and there was no place for the children of the valley. And lo, he who was seated upon the throne looked upon the punishment that he wrought, and said, Fear not, for I am making something new. A world without the unbelieving, the vile and immoral, the idolaters and all liars. For them, a second death, and the endless torment of a lake of sulfur and ash.
I got no idea who the fuck you are, nutcase, but this channel's secured, and you should promptly go fuck yourself before we find you and quiet your crazy with some heavy artillery.
That's a big fat fucking negative. This line is clearly compromised. Move this over to our backup. No further communication on this frequency. Over and out.
The caravan is rolling out. Over and out.
Over and out.
Cavalry is on the way. Over and out.
The world ended on Monday, August 29th, 1995. The sky fell, and the dead would not die. Civilization quickly collapsed, and a sickness spread like lightning to even the most remote reaches of the world. They called it many things, but it started out simply as another round of the summer flu. It became something far, far worse. H195, commonly called the legacy virus or the widow's kiss, is as deadly as it sounds. It became even more infectious after the dead passed away. At first, it seemed like no one was immune to the airborne strain. However, it eventually was revealed that 0.01% of the population had a natural immunity. Those lucky souls couldn't withstand the concentrated introduction of the virus, however. If you were bit, scratched, or even blood-on-blood contact from one of the dead, as they had risen and were walking now, it could infect you. Your airborne immunity did not guarantee survival. The end of days were like wildfire, and throughout the world, people sought refuge and security where they had none at all. Nothing could be found. Entire cities burnt to the ground. But miraculously, some still survived. And for the next 25 years, life has struggled forward. The world is fractured, but some do still seek to make civilization anew. The Ender's Line uses old railway tracks to connect small and scattered outposts and settlements. All across the Midwestern United States, they bring hope, a possibility for the others to find survival, to continue life in some sense of the new normality that can be found in this world that has arisen after the fall of everything that we know. Juniper, still within the dark corridors of that mine, the light flickers from the lantern that you had lit so long ago, but it has broken and fallen across the floor. Abigail is on top of you. An arrow is sticking out of her shoulder. Her mouth has become a twisted and contorted mockery of a human face. She has a permanent, threatening smile. Her gray flesh looks like cracked glass as a network of black and purple veins work their way across it. Her eyes are pitch black. They're glossy orbs, and they weep a dark pus as they stare down at you, filled with fury. Her mouth, teeth bared, are dripping a thick fluid, and it pours, dripping across you. She tries desperately to bite you. Juniper, your arms are extended, and you are holding Abigail at bay, grabbing onto her shoulders, pushing her away. Your former friend grabs onto your shoulders and lifts your body up and then slams it hard back into the hard, rocky floor of the cave. Your head hits a rock with a resounding thud that is audible throughout this space, and your head begins to ring. Everything for a moment goes black, and then your vision returns. As if muffled within some enormous cotton pillow, you hear gunshots. And then you hear the sound of Short Stack shouting. You can't understand the words. They're just there, floating in the air around you. His body, a blurred shadow, kicks at Abigail, and she snatches forward, using one of her ragged, bloody hands to grab at his gun, hissing and screeching. To one side, you see an arrow. One of the dozen that were knocked out of your quiver scattered across the cave floor. I would like for you to make an endurance check for me, please, Juniper.
Okay. There we go. Yes, the old one. I got one failure.
Indeed, you did.
And remind me, are we starting out with 3 competency points today? Or is
You
it
have
4?
3 competency points today.
I am going to save it because I feel like this is the least of my problems. I'm going to take that one failure.
Again, your head rings, Juniper, and everything begins going dark. Your arm shoots out, and you can feel the arrow at the tip of your fingers, so close to you. But your head will not clear. And everything goes dark. Aria Cantos. The date is Friday, August 26th, 1995. You are sitting inside of a stretch limousine on Rodeo Drive. There is a large, bald man with Ray-Ban sunglasses sitting in the seat across from you. He glowers and is completely emotionless, per usual. His name is Bulldog, and he's worked for Shannon Dordery before you. But your parents were lucky enough to be able to poach him with a better offer. If the tabloids are to be believed, she's an even bigger bitch than you are. You spent the last 3 months testing this theory and making Bulldog's life a living hell. To his credit, he's not yet broke. Next to you is Margot Page, your agent. She is dressed in a gray power suit and black heels that add at least 6 inches to her height. Not that she needs them. Everyone is afraid of Margot. Everyone other than you. Margot is currently barking into her car phone while Bulldog sits like Buddha on the mountain across from you. You have a Coke with a straw in it. You're sitting there. Describe yourself, please.
I am dressed with my hair actually straight down, a little bit frizzy from just driving around, but pretty straight, but straight for a curly girl. Probably dressed in just probably a button-up top with a baby doll dress over it, very 90s chic style with a couple of like butterfly clips in the straight hair.
As you're sitting there, Margot is railing into the phone. Listen, Jerry, I'm only going to say this once. Aria is going to take the fucking press tour, whether you and all the suits over at the studio think it's a good idea or not. You spent the last 6 months trying to claim breach of contract, and we aren't going to give you another goddamn concession that you can use and hang over our heads when we take you to fucking court in the fall. Aria is a goddamn professional. She is going to show the fuck up, shoot the goddamn commercial, and wave at the crowds outside of the press junket. She's gonna warm the fucking hearts of America the same way that she has every Thursday night at 7 p.m. for the past 3 fucking years. Shut up, you worm, and let me finish. I'll tell you when to talk. I raised your little production house up from the level that they are now. You were nothing. You have offers hitting your desk right now from the mouse, and I'll tell you what, if you want to keep on that track, you're going to do exactly what I say. You want us by your side. Do you think that Leo or either of the Coreys are a fucking cakewalk? These are teenage fucking stars. They burn bright. So maybe you're the one who needs to fucking grow up, Jerry. Now then, I don't care what the fuck is happening with this outbreak. Poor people get sick. They should have learned how to wash their hands. If you don't get the private jet, then fine. We don't need the private fucking jet. We'll fly first class on Vision. I know you can do it. But you better be sure as fuck that they bump every passenger off of first. We get the whole section. I swear to God, if you don't, your wife won't need to worry about convincing you to get that vasectomy. She slams the phone down and smiles at you, Aria.
Wow, Margot, that was quite a bit of stuff. Like, you didn't have to go that harsh.
Aria, I've told it to you once. I'm going to tell it to you again. If you let these men walk on you, they will own you. You've got to learn how to walk first.
Gotta learn how to walk first. Got it. So,
Look,
all right.
Your parents wanted me to give this to you. She reaches under the seat and pulls out a very fancy-looking wrapped package with glossy black paper and a silver ribbon. Your birthday is coming up, and they're going to be in Cancun, but they wanted to make sure that I gave this to you, but I don't want to carry it around until your actual birthday. Why don't you just open it now?
They're going to Cancun for my birth. Fine. Open.
You tear open the package, Aria, and inside is a velvet box, and it has the marking of Tiffany's across it. You open it, and you find a gold and diamond studded heart that is exactly the same as the gold and diamond studded heart you got for Christmas last year.
Hey, another Tiffany's. Actually, I could probably use that for something later. Okay, whatever. Oh, how close are we to the airport?
She leans closer to you and looks into your eyes. Aria, what did you find?
I don't know what you're talking about.
She looks over to Bulldog. You lump of useless fucking flesh. You have one job. Keep an eye on her. The limo continues on in silence as Margot continues to jot notes down in a steno notepad, writing furiously. She looks at you from time to time. She twirls her high heel on the edge of her foot, and Bulldog stares at you. In front of you, you have a bag that is filled with a number of amenities that most young adults your age could only wish to have. You have all the latest technology, and there is a number of things in there that quite frankly, are impressive for somebody of your station even. So as you begin to kind of like move along in this limo, it eventually comes to a stop, and Margot stops, huffs, opens the door, and gets out. Bulldog waits for you and then follows after as the three of you walk across the tarmac to a plane. Outside of the plane, you see a number of individuals being walked off and back towards the airport. They're all in a variety of business suits, and they're all looking quite put out as they're being ushered away from the plane. You and your entourage are brought onto the plane, and a flight attendant greets you. We're very, very excited to have you. Welcome. Hi there. My name is Suzanne, and I'm going to be your personal attendant today. Is there anything that you would like?
Probably just some like soda would be fine, I guess. Like, yeah, a soda would be fine.
She'll
Yeah.
take a whole milk, and then Margot stops and then looks down at you. She'll take a low-fat milk.
I'll take a low-fat milk, thanks.
As you are seated, you kind of throw yourself into a chair, and Margot sits down next to you. Bulldog is behind you, and the rest of the plane is cordoned off by a curtain, Aria. You begin to hear coughing on the back part of the plane, and you've not really watched a lot of the news, but you have heard that there are heavy sicknesses that are running through the country, and people are worried. There are even rumors about the National Guard being called in to manage the overflow at the various hospitals throughout the major metropolitan areas within the United States. The flight attendant comes and puts a milk down in front of you. Margot grabs the attendant. I'll take 2 vodka tonics. The attendant comes back quickly, and Margot takes one of the bottles of vodka and sets it in front of you next to your milk. Now I want you to shut up and stay away from the pills. Do you understand?
Yeah, I guess.
We can take care of this, but I don't want you to end up in rehab. It'll ruin your career.
Okay, I'll stay away from the pills. But Margot, did you hear those people coughing in the background?
They're just poor, honey. Don't worry about it.
Are you sure? Because, like, I've been listening to the news, and I don't know, it sounded bad.
Everything's bad, honey. If you do not take control of the situations around you, the situations around you will take control. So we need this press junket. If you hadn't had your little tantrum and gotten so doped up that you couldn't say your lines at the season finale, we wouldn't need to do this.
Yeah. Yep. I got my lines. Totally got it. You've been maxed out. Great.
Do you understand how important you are? Do you know how much money you make in a year?
Enough to call people poor, I guess.
That's not even the start of it. You are at the very edge of becoming a superstar. Beyond any of this special agent Candy Maxx shit. Ariel, you have a real chance. You transitioned into some serious drama in 2 years. We should probably start putting you out there. Maybe find you a horror movie or something to star in that we can break you away. But once you're 16, that's when this really starts. You're beautiful, you're smart, you're talented. You're everything that they love. They want you.
I don't want them, though. I want my parents.
I understand. I get it, baby. It's tough, you know? If you love them, because they do love you, you're gonna keep working.
Yeah.
She grabs your chin. Now drink your milk. And she smiles at you.
Yes, Margot.
Juniper, you wake. Your head is ringing. You feel a trickle of blood across your forehead. And as you roll over, there's a clatter as a set of handcuffs are on your right arm. However, there is blood smeared on your left arm, and your other hand is free.
Kids? Hello?
You look around, and you see metal shelving that surrounds you on either side. There are a number of various cans and boxes that are stacked here. Supplies. The dark, cool dampness of the caves still is present, and you smell dirt.
Oh, this is good. This is great. If I'm dead, this is kind of a bullshit hell. But all right. I try to look around for either Crasher Kit or Short Stack.
You pull yourself up and you stumble as you stand. Looking at your body, you do not see any bites or scratches. Just bruises. Lots of bruises. And again, your head hurts and you reach up and you pull it away, and there's a dried scab working its way across your scalp and a heavy, wet slickness across your face. There's a metal door in front of you that has been welded together using heavy steel plates. It looks massive, and there is a large bar that has been placed over it, and a shelf has been overturned on top of it, blocking the door. But in white letters, painted across from it, on the face of it, you see the word Bancroft.
I wonder what that says. Could be anything. Can't read.
Oh, you don't read, so you just see that there are letters
stuff
painted
is
across it.
happening.
Yeah, you don't know what it says,
Okay.
but there are words, and it looks like it's been painted fairly recently. It doesn't look like it's that old.
The handcuff on me, is it attached to anything, or is it just like not attached to anything?
It's not attached to anything. And just the one on your right hand has been around your wrist. So behind you, you hear movement back in the shelves, something clatters, and as you speak up, you hear it in the darkness somewhere behind you. There is a lantern that is burning here, but it is knocked over onto the ground.
I try to pick up the lantern on the ground to attempt to light it.
All right. So you, the lantern itself is already burning. So all you have to do is hold it up. It's an oil lantern, and thankfully it didn't catch on fire, but it is still flickering, and you're able to see the space around you a little more clearly.
Hey, Crash Kit, are you guys back there? Hey.
You begin moving backwards, and you whisper, and as you reach the back of this storage shed, it's been roughly carved out of the stone. It's not that advanced, but there are all of these metal shelves, these big, heavy industrial metal shelves everywhere. And you see movement on the other side of some shelves in front of you. What do? It seems to be low to the ground.
Oh, every time. This is gonna be bad. Okay, all right. I would like to see if there's any way I can see what's moving around without it seeing me. So to try to like stealth around the back of this. I'm holding a lantern. I mean, I don't know how stealthy I can be.
Okay, so go ahead and make your stealth roll for me. And I'm not going to add any degrees of difficulty, despite the fact that your head is ringing. You are moving as quietly as you possibly could be. That is 2 degrees of success.
Finally.
And so you are very quiet as you move around. And despite your shouting before, you do not think that the individuals that you discover are aware of your presence. You see both Kit and Crash. There is duct tape over their mouths, and they have been tied. Their hands and their feet have been tied behind their back. They're on the ground. And one of them has kicked a shelf, and a container has fallen over with a metal clatter, and that was the noise that you had heard. On the far side away from them, up against the wall, you see Short Stack. The man who was in his early 30s with the close black cropped hair and the rich dark skin and the faint tattoos across his body is now splayed out like a rag doll. A gun is on his lap, and the remains of his brains have been scattered across the wall.
Okay, that's bad. This is bad. This is very bad.
On his wrist, you see a horrid-looking bite.
Oh, that's worse somehow. Okay. All right. I want to try to quietly go over to the 2 kids to see if they're awake and try to untie them.
They seem dazed. You untie them and you pull the tape off of their mouths, and they seem catatonic. They're muttering to themselves and rocking back and forth.
Okay. All right. Hey. I talked to Kit. What happened? Who put us in here? What is going on?
Make a calm other check, please. And I'm going to give you 2 dice of difficulty given the state that these 2 children are in.
Is okay, I see it. Never mind. Here we go. Sorry, what'd you say you're giving me? 1
2 dice of difficulty that you need to roll with it as well. So 2 black die.
Okay, redoing that. Oh my god, that's so many degrees of failure. That's like so many red dots.
You have rolled 100, which is 5 degrees of failure. Now, my suggestion in this moment is that the children are so catatonic that they are unable to respond and will not respond to you until you get them into a safe, secure location. If you would like to suggest something else, I'm all ears.
No, that sounds good. I kind of thought you were going to say something way worse. That feels fair. All right. I I don't know, how big are they? How big are these kids? How old are they?
They are each about 7 years old, 7 or 8 years old. You don't know exactly. You're not even sure if they know.
They're like
But
half my size, maybe?
they're about half your size. You won't be able to carry them both. You could carry
Cool.
one, but you can usher them forward. You can get them to stand, and you can kind of move them along. However, they're moving very slowly, which means that you're going to be exposed, and it's going to take long amounts of time for you to really get them anywhere.
Okay. Before I do that, I want to search the room. I'd like to take the gun off short stack.
Okay.
Is this the same gun he gave to the kids, or is this a different gun?
This is the same gun that he gave to the kids.
Damn it. So it's not a second gun, it's the same gun. Okay.
So you do have the pistol now. It is an automatic pistol. And do you search the room?
Yes.
Okay. I would like for you to, in that instance, first of all, if you would like, if you want to spend any survival points, I will allow that to affect this. But the choice is yours.
Okay. I have a bunch left, so might as well use them before I die.
Okay. How many would you like to spend on cleaning this room out?
Let's say 30.
Okay. Go ahead and make a search check with no difficulty dice added to it.
All right. 4 degrees of success.
All right. What are you specifically hoping to find here?
Some kind of medicine to give to the kids to either calm them down or like wake them up. So whatever that looks like, or any kind of supplies to, I don't know, I guess just like maybe like rope to like tie one of them to my back so I can walk with one of them and push the other one.
Mm-hmm. You gather together a number of things, and the first thing that you find are a couple of large spools of rope that you can keep with you. You also begin opening containers, and you find a number of ammo containers, military ammo containers that are green metal boxes. And on the front of each of them is painted a red cross. And as you open them, you find small glass bottles that are wrapped in old pieces of clothing that have what look to be makeshift pills inside of them. However, Juniper, the little labels that are on there are of no use to you because, as we've established, you cannot read.
I'm not going to give them random medicine. Okay, I think I'm just going to keep that medicine and not give it to anybody for now. I will tie like one kid to my back.
All right.
And then before they do that, I'd like to search the area around the door. So it looks like somebody has put the stuff against the door from the inside, right? It's not barricaded the other way around.
It was from the inside. It looked like somebody was trying to keep something out from coming in.
Oh my god. Does it look like Short Stack shot himself, or does it look like someone?
It looks like Short Stack shot himself, you believe.
Because he got bit.
Yes.
Okay.
The gun was in his lap.
So bad, all bad. Can I search Short Stack for anything else, like any
You find a
ID?
combat army knife.
Okay.
You find a machete. You find a small black leather book that is full of little markings. I don't think Juniper would know what sheet music is, but it's full of little sheet music notes that were written into this book.
Oh.
And it's soaked in blood, but it's still readable. And additionally, you see a box in the corner, and it's a big wooden box, and the top of it has already been opened. It looks like somebody else was searching here, perhaps Short Stack before, when you were unconscious. There is what looks like straw packed onto the inside of it, and there are these tubes of some sort of material with a like a candle wick coming out of them.
Dynamite?
I don't know that Juniper would necessarily know specifically what dynamite is.
Just these stuff, got it.
But you, if you believe that she would, I am happy to have her realize what this is. Otherwise, we could leave it to fate and have you make a roll.
Oh, let's roll. I don't know that she would know what this is unless
Uh,
someone used it in front of her before.
Yes. Okay. So
Let's roll. That's fun.
yeah, let's have you. Let's test your. Just have a spot listen check.
Okay.
It'll do fine. We'll have to see if you had paid attention when the others were dealing with it. Only 1 degree of failure. Do you wish to change that?
Nah. Just
Nah.
leave it.
Okay. Yeah,
I
you
know
don't
this
really
shit
know what it
it's
is.
Fine.
You have heard of dynamite and you have seen others talk about it, but you don't recognize this necessarily as that. And you're going to leave it there. All right.
It does. Do we still have Blockbuster's bag? Is that on him still, or is that gone?
You do not have Blockbuster's bag.
Okay, it's missing.
In fact, most of your things are gone. Your quiver and your bow and arrow are gone. Well, no, I take that back. You have your bow. You don't have your quiver.
Oh. Cool. All right. Okay. I want to listen at the door to see if there's anything outside that I should be immediately worried about if we're going to leave this room.
You press your ear up against the door, and you hear very clearly. Look, Arya, I don't really know if this is it or not, but we've been searching these mines for I don't even know how long, and I'm telling you right now that if we don't search this room is going to be the one with the goods in it.
Are you fucking kidding me? Seriously? We have to search another room. How the fuck have we even found this shit yet?
I don't know. I wasn't given a map. This thing is like a labyrinth. It's so deep down here. It goes on forever. I used to be in construction, yet everybody back at the caravan thought that it was a good idea that we just come through here. Anyway, you do your job. If we find others, you're going to sweet talk us through it, all right? I will get the doors and make sure that it's safe, and then I'll help you shoulder the goods out.
All right, fine. Whatever.
All right. And then you hear a kind of like a thud. It's fucking stuck. Ugh.
Oh.
It looks like the lock was fucking shot off. I don't know what's on the other side here. Hey, Arya, hand me that crowbar.
All right, fine. Here.
I shove the kids into the the corner of the room, like behind a shelf or something, so they're not easily visible from the doorway.
All right. And then what do you do, Juniper?
As they're trying to open it, I move the stuff away from the door.
As you do so, Arya, this is Barrett. He is a short, stout, pasty, bald man in his mid-50s who is wearing very dirty coveralls and is chewing on a hand-rolled kind of makeshift cigar that doesn't even have really any tobacco in it. It's really just whatever strange herbs and leaves he can find, a little bit of marijuana, but he's chewing on the stub of it, and he's pushing his greasy hands across the edge of this large metal door. And on the front of the door, you see painted in white, Bancroft is written across it.
Hey, do you know what this word means?
Yeah. I think that those goons over at Grey Ridge have put all of their goods behind doors using a code. Now, I don't know exactly what that code is, but given that we passed one named Mantle a while back, I figure these are baseball players.
Oh, no wonder I don't know what this is.
Oh, shh. Do you hear that? Arya, make a spot listen check for me.
Ooh. I am brand new to this sheet, so...
No, that's all right.
Spot... under skills, I'm correct?
Yep. Your spot listen skill. And then it should just dump it right into our roll 20. And
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
And I'm clicking the total, am I correct? Oh,
yeah.
no.
So it should...
Click the gray
the gray
bar.
box. Yeah.
Thank you. There. That.
There
What?
you go. Now you have 1 degree of failure, which is what the red minus means. Now that only means that you failed by 1 die, or 1 degree, which isn't life altering. If you were to have 5 degrees of failure, this would be a different conversation, as it could be very, very detrimental to you and those around you. However, also it depends on what the situation is and how you and I discuss it. You have 1 degree of failure. You can just accept that, or because you have 3 competency points and potentially some abilities that would allow you to gain other competency points given certain situations, you can spend those to mitigate that failure. So my question to you, Aria, is do you wish to fail this and save your competency points, or do you wish to use it to improve your chances here?
I'm gonna follow suit, and I'm gonna hold on to my competency points and fail this this roll. It's fine.
A wise decision, I believe. So you don't hear anything. However, Barrett, who's got his ear with like white hair coming out of it, he presses it closer to the door, and he like stops, and then he slowly pulls a sawed-off shotgun from his belt on the side and cocks it. He puts his finger up to his face. It pushes into his beard, and then just motions for you to stand back. Is there anything that you're doing in this moment, Juniper? You are muted.
After removing the debris, I'm just gonna step back a little from the door, and I'm just gonna call out, "Hey, there's not like a bunch of Ramirez up there, are there? Because are you? Hello? Are there just like, or like one really mad one, or ladies? Is there an old lady singing out there? Are any of these things? No."
The door kicks open, and you see this stout old man standing in front of you with a shotgun. Are you holding a weapon?
I would believe I'd still have the knife and machete from Short Stack's person.
All right, drop it. Drop it.
This one?
Both of them. Both of them go on the ground, okay? Kid, put them on the ground.
Okay. So you didn't see like a old lady or a Romero with like crazy oozy eyes, or like any of my arrows, nothing out. You see any of that stuff out there? There's like we've been in here for like a while.
All right. Motormouth, hold on. He turns back to you, Aria. This is outside of my league. This is where you come in. I'm going to step back. You negotiate, because otherwise someone's going to get shot. And Barrett kind of like turns and walks away.
I'm on. Hey, who are you?
Who are you?
I'm Candy Maxx. Like, I am totally here to save your life.
Your name's weird.
Yeah, all you kids know Candy Maxx, right? You watch those VHSs, the candy. This is the Candy Maxx. It's your lucky day.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Fucking Jesus, thank God. Hey, okay, look, I'm Aria Cantos. Like, you okay?
Oh no, decidedly not. I point to the body of Shortstag. So I was sort of not. We were being attacked, and he clearly did not make it. And we're gonna go. Could you tell us which way you came in so we can go out that way? I don't give a shit about anything in this room. Please fucking take it, because I think we're gonna get killed any minute now.
Okay, hold on. Did you find anything in here though?
I don't know, just like jars and shit. I don't know. It's like boxes.
This room is full. Hold on. We're going to search this place. All right. Just you and your kids. These are your children or what?
Oh, have they come out of their little corner?
Yeah, they're hiding behind you. They're still catatonic, and they're like shaking. They run up and they hug on to this man.
Oh, okay.
What the hell?
Hey, you don't just hug anybody.
Get these kids off of me, please.
Hey, come here.
I'm not freaking Santa Claus.
Okay, these kids have been knocked around, so they're a little messed up. I don't know. There's medicine here, I guess. I I don't know what they need, but they're weird and weirder than usual, and I don't know what to do with them.
Oh,
Kid-
okay. Wait, 1 second. I kneel down and say, "Hey, kids! Like, are you totally ready to go on an adventure and be like maxed out?"
Go ahead and make a calm others check, please.
Great.
And I'm not going to give you any dice of difficulty, but these kids seem to have been through living hell. They're covered in blood. There's splatter of blood on them. They're shivering, and their eyes are just a little blank and far away.
Oh.
It's
Okay,
very,
where-
very heartbreaking.
Where is this one at?
So that is going to be underneath. It's in actually your trained skills underneath. If you have it, it'll be in above persuade.
Yeah. So left column, second section.
Yeah. So down. It should be first column, second section.
I'm looking at second section. I don't see it, but I did see it in my notes. So
Go ahead and if you have persuade, make a persuade.
okay. Oh, there it is. There it is. I found it. It's right above persuade.
Yeah, there it is. So go ahead and give that a roll, Aria, and we'll see how you do. All right. So you have gotten 5 degrees of failure, which I'm going to give you the same offer that I gave to Juniper, which is these kids are catatonic until they are in a new secure location. And in fact, when you do the Candy Maxx routine on them, they go even further into their blankness, as it seems that they are just disconnecting from reality around them.
Great. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna
All right.
I tried that.
So, look, here's my suggestion. We clear this out.
Really long story. No, but
All right, are
these
you
kids are.
The kids are from Grey Ridge.
Yeah.
Are they all that made it out?
I don't probably. I don't know. I feel like everyone had made some bad decisions a couple hours ago, and
Yeah.
I haven't seen anyone.
Dr. Espinosa really, really had a stick up her ass, but I would hate to see her go.
I hope they're all alive. I don't know. They're probably wandering around up there. We didn't make any plans to meet up or anything.
When
I'm
was
stuck
the
down
last
here.
time you saw the doctor?
I don't know how long it's been. Honest, I've been out for a while. It could be hours, day. I don't know how long I've been down here.
Barrett looks to you, Aria. Welcome back. We've had a slight technical difficulty with Twitch, but we are now again with you. Juniper, Aria, Barrett, and the 2 children are still within this storehouse, deciding where and how they are going to move forward. Aria, looking about the different shelves, Barrett gives you a cautionary glance. Having just mentioned the doctor, you know what he's looking for.
Okay, so we should get these kids and I'm sorry, what was your name again?
I'm Juniper.
Hey, I'm Aria.
Oh, your name's not Candy Ding Ding, whatever it was. What was it? Candy something?
Candy Maxx.
It's not Candy Maxx.
No. If you know what, don't worry about it. It's Aria. It's fine. You don't need to know who I am. It's great. But these kids need some sort of safe something, so
Yeah, we gotta get out of here. This is we're just sitting ducks in here. There's a crazy strong Romero out there who can talk and maybe do math. I'm not sure if I'm remembering that correctly. And an old lady who sings, or maybe the zombie was singing, or maybe the Romero was singing. Anyway, there's something real crazy happening here, and it's not normal spooky stuff. It's we gotta get out of here.
okay, you know what? No worries. Look, we've done this kind of stuff before, so let us go inside, take a look at what's going on, what we need to extract, and we'll be
Sure,
right back.
I don't need it. Whatever. Yeah.
All right, cool. Just stay here, stay safe. We'll be right back. Barrett, are you ready?
Yeah, we'll get through. You sit here, kid. You got him covered, right? You got this handled?
Sure.
Yeah, you wild ones always do. I respect that. And so Aria and Barrett step into the safe house a little further and begin kind of looking about. Make a search check for me, Aria, And if you do, you have any survivor points on your sheet right now?
Ooh, I got so excited I found search. Give me a second.
No, that's all right. That's all right.
I am not seeing it, but I also don't know exactly where I'm looking at. So
We just started you out. So I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt here.
Okay.
And go ahead and make the search check.
Okay.
You have no degrees of difficulty because everything's organized on shelves. Yeah, so you have 3 degrees of success. You quickly move through all of the storehouse here. You do find a number of medical supplies. You find a box of dynamite. There are 6 sticks of TNT in a box packed closely with straw in the back of this storehouse. There are various freeze-dried ration packs that look like they're easily 30 to 40 years old. There are big containers of water that have been stored here. And additionally, there are a number of ammo boxes. Some of them have been designated for medical supplies, but some of them have actual ammunition within them. You don't find any handguns or anything to use with the ammunition, but there are various gauges of bullets in all of these boxes, and it could be quite valuable in the future. However, Barrett opens one of the boxes. Well, I may not be Santa Claus, but I'll tell you what, it's getting close to Christmas, as he shows you a bunch of little glass bottles and opens one and rattles it in front of you. It has makeshift pills in it. We got painkillers.
Great. Let's can I see that real quick?
Sure. Yeah. Here you go.
Great.
Throws you one. Listen, I'm a little concerned about the wild kid out there. She's a little battier than my ex-wife, and I'm kind of sweating whether or not she's all there. Did you see all this? Like, what the hell is she talking about? Like, talking Romeros?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, most people are batshit crazy around these days, but
Yeah, I guess you're right. All right. Well, let's gather up what we can.
Okay.
And so you take a bag and you fill up some of the higher value items. Do you wish to be encumbered by this, or do you want to be free enough to be able to move without encumbrance? Because you can take a lot of this, but because it's just you and Barrett now, the rest of the caravan is split off somewhere else within these mines, and within the Gray Ridge farm district outside. They're all scavenging wherever they can. If you over encumber yourself, moving through these tunnels is going to be a lot slower.
Okay. So what I would like to do is I would like to take as many vials as possible and put them into the various pockets that I have.
Mm-hmm.
And then just kind of take whatever else I can on person. So I don't want to be encumbered by anything, but I want to prioritize the items that will be coming with me.
Yeah, so you do clear out medical supplies first, because that's really the main part of this mission. But you take a large number of that. That doesn't take up a whole lot of space in your pack or in your pockets. And then you take a few high value items and some ammunition and a few other things. Let me ask you this: do you take the dynamite?
Yes.
All right. So you're going to unpack the dynamite and put it with the straw into your bag, or do you take the box and drag the box with you?
No. Unpack it, put it all in the bag and stuff.
Okay. So you put the dynamite into your bag, you wrap it up, you have a backpack on now, along with the rest of your stuff. Barrett has cleaned out quite a few things. All right. Well, this is pretty successful. I'd say that we've got at least a month or two of goods here that we can really make a small fortune off of.
Yeah, we're gonna be solid. This is good. This was all part of the plan, right?
Right. Now we just got to get past that horde, but I believe in us. We're resourceful.
That's a cinch. We got this.
Yeah. I don't look like it, but let me tell you what, Arya, I'm quite nimble on my feet. I used to take tap lessons.
That's odd and awesome. But you know what? No, you remind me of one of my co-stars when we had a scene and we had to just, bear it out. And you're like one of the stunt fighters, so it's totally fine. Like, I know that we're going to get through this super easy because you got this on lock.
I'm like a Hollywood stunt fighter. I like that. Yeah.
Exactly.
And so the two of you kind of walk out. Well, I guess it's back to babysitting duty. Juniper, you.
I can hear you. I don't. Normally, I wouldn't need anyone's help. I'm fine. I just have these two kids who are basically like themselves walking little Romeros because they're not even talking or responding.
And once again, we have returned to you. Meanwhile, elsewhere within this mine shaft, further down, deeper into the network of safe houses that have been carved into various areas within this space. Lampwick, your eyes flutter open at the sound of gunshots. You bolt upward and you feel the sharp, stinging pain. And then you see Kusanagi and Achira, along with the others, other than the doctor, watching a movie on a small, flickering television. A VCR has been attached to it, and the generator in the far corner of this safe house is puttering softly, venting the air out and through a series of tin pipes that have been burrowed through the stone and lead off further into these caves. Achira, Kusanagi, it has been hours. The doctor hasn't gone anywhere, but has sat quietly alone in the entrance. The rest of you have gathered around here. Rowan has her combat boots kicked up onto a box and is toking heavily on a joint. Next to her, Philippe is swigging at a flask. Both of them are eyeing each of you from time to time, but there is a certain amount of comfort that has been found here. You have been running for so long now. You have fought your way through these tunnels, and you have faced unspeakable horrors, things that you did not think were possible. Not only are the Romeros acting differently, but some of the individuals that you have met have exhibited abilities far beyond the dead that you have ever known before. And then there's the old woman and the singing. Kusanagi, you know now that Blockbuster is dead. You have his backpack in front of you. A number of his movies have been laid out before you. And as you watch along with the others, some action movie flickers across the screen. What do you think that you have found? What movie are you watching?
I think it's the first Lethal Weapon.
It is the first Lethal Weapon. There are moments where everyone laughs and finds enjoyment in the comedic situations that are played across the screen, but your eyes keep moving down to this pack and to the VHS cases that are splayed out on the boxes in front of you. There are tin cans that have been opened up and old various types of vegetables. The labels have been long deteriorated, but within the rusted cans, you all find meals that are enough to sustain you. And there are a number of large barrels with water. However, the water has a strange copper taste to it. And you look down, Kusanagi, and you see one of these VHS cases. A sticker, worn and aged. Be kind, rewind.
Yes, the ancient ways.
Lampwick, you are now awake. What would the group like to do?
Well, I'd like to try to get back to sleep. Hey, Philippe, you mind giving me a swig of that?
He looks down at you and quickly takes a swig as soon as you ask, and then smiles, winks at you, and hands you the flask.
Take it nice. I take more than a swig, like 2.5 swigs.
Hey, be careful there. Huh? I'm not made out of whiskey. I wish that I was.
Well, I wish I was right now too. Here you go. I just need to pass out for a little while longer. And with that, I'm just gonna go right back down and try to rest as much as I can.
Rowan looks over her shoulder from the beat up couch at you. Yeah, Snowflake, you go ahead and take a long nap because you're gonna need it. We're gonna need to get out of here sooner or later, right? We're not gonna stay here.
Nope, as cozy as it is here, as inviting as it is, I don't think that this is the place for us to stay. But this snowflake's going out before he melts.
I couldn't agree more. Sweet dreams, princess.
Mm-hmm. And with that, I'm just gonna rest my head and chuckle to myself. But then also like feel the pain that chuckle kind of gave my side. So close my eyes, trying to rest as much as I can.
You drift off to sleep, Lampwick, but as you do, somewhere far, far in the distance, you hear a baby cry. And your eyes shoot open, and you realize that you were having a nightmare.
Shake it off.
Kusanagi, Achira, what are you doing?
Achira's going to search for medicine that's also knockout drugs, like chloroform and zip ties.
Okay. That's a very specific number of questions that you've asked me. All right, so here it is. How many survival points do you have, Achira?
100.
How many survival points do you wish to use to be able to find knockout drugs and zip ties?
0.
Okay. How many are you willing to spend to find those items?
25.
If you make it 35, I will give you exactly what you ask for. If you make it 25, I will give you something.
I'm gonna go for something. I'm
Very
curious,
well.
and I want to save the 75 for something else that I might have in mind.
You do not find chloroform. You do not find zip ties. However, as you move through the cage on the far side of this large open room that has been finished almost, it is smooth, concrete has been poured. This is a clean, secure area, unlike many of the chambers that you've discovered within the mines. This was built almost as a panic room, a place to survive on the long term. There are cots that are scattered around the space. There are the bare essentials as far as furnishings are concerned, but plenty of boxes and crates that could be used to facilitate anything else. As Kusanagi has discovered, there was a small television that, with his VCR, he was able to repair and begin to operate off of the generator that is in the far corner. You have enough gas to run that generator for quite a while. There is some water, although of questionable quality. There is a whole shelf with canned goods and old MREs that are at least 20 or 30 years old. As you start poking through the boxes, however, on a rack you see a number of weapons. There are some rifles and some automatic weapons that are placed along one side. There are boxes of ammunition. There are other crates stacked here as well. And you begin opening crates and pushing through them. And you do find a number of drugs. There are boxes of Dr. Espinosa's specific penicillin. But other than penicillin, there is also a number of pills that are marked sedative. And while you don't find any sort of zip tie, there are a number of old cables attached to old lamps and lights that are no longer functional. It seems as if they have been broken apart to make the lights that are present within this place work. So the cabling and the wires from those could be used to restrain someone if you chose.
Achira would pocket the sedatives and also the cable wire.
There is an entire box of sedatives. It is a large metal container that is often used by the military to fill with ammunition.
Achira would pocket the sedatives that had the longest name attached to them.
That's just it. These are all makeshift, and these pills seem to be handmade. You have no idea what they actually are. The label simply says sedative.
Grabs that then. A handful.
Mm-hmm. So you pocket those. Kusanagi, what do you do?
I think by the sort of flickering fluorescent light in this room, I've arranged a bunch of Blockbuster's tapes. I have them popped open in their cases. And I pulled out of my bag, I have a binder. It's like a Trapper Keeper that has this sort of weird neon cyber landscape on it with like a Tyrannosaurus Rex like flying. And I have a lot of my notes inside of it that are on like sort of 5-star, college ruled loose leaf paper in very neat handwriting. And it looks almost like code, like lines of code, almost like a roster or like a list of some sort. And I'm going through each of these videos and I'm writing out something. It seems to be some sort of code based on all of them. I'll have the movie title and other things, and then I'll have a series of symbols, and I'm kind of just sort of comparing it.
You have currently a number of things written down in your notebook, Kusanagi. You're not certain how many of these pieces are within this code. However, you are finding much that you did not have before within these specific cases. Each of the boxes that is marked, "Be kind, rewind." Sure enough, on the interior spine of the clamshell, etched in small, almost imperceivable letters, is a symbol and a few words and maybe some numbers. The most recent one that you find is an arrow pointed to the left, the number 2, and then use it to 41.8.
All right. I'm committing this all to memory as I write it down, but the note taking helps to keep me kind of focused and centered. I've probably seen Lethal Weapon 600, 700 times.
Einstein, what are you doing over there? Rowan kind of shouts out at you.
I'm checking to see if there's anything here that I haven't got yet. And unfortunately, I think I do have most of these. Some of them were second generation copies though, like on super long plays. So, I mean, it's nothing groundbreaking, but I mean, it's certainly an improvement to my collection.
What, you're like collecting Cracker Jack prizes? What do you mean?
Well, I mean, some of these are pretty common movies, but I'm saying they're better quality ones here than the copies that I have.
Oh, they're better movies.
Yeah.
I see. And she kind of like scoots over and kind of like leans over by you. Do you do anything?
No.
Nods, kind of smiles broadly, and kicks her feet back up.
What kind of movies do you like? Do you have a favorite?
Anything violent.
Oh, okay. I mean, there are a couple horror ones in here. There's Sleepaway Massacre 2, or I think it's 2.
Listen, I didn't really watch a lot of horror before the fall, and the ones that I have cautioned a little glance at, they didn't do much for me. After everything we
Yeah.
live in, it just seems so fake.
Yeah, I mean, I think I find it kind of reassuring, though. You know, I mean, that they got it so wrong. You know, maybe that's why there's good in people, I guess.
Achira, once you find these items, what do you do?
Glances over at the rest of the party, sees that nobody is paying attention to her, and then looks for canteens and then also something to drink besides water in the room.
All right. So there doesn't seem to be anything else but water in any of these containers. There are a number of old cans, and you kind of shake them. They have no labels on them, and they're rusted on the outside, but you slosh them, and there does seem to be liquid inside some of them. You don't know what. There's obviously something else solid inside of it as well.
Chira would try to open one of those.
You open one, and it is a large can of green beans with the water from the green beans at about half the level, having slowly evaporated over time. They smell fine. It doesn't cause you to vomit. That's happened before when you've opened cans, but typically the MREs are a lot safer. I mean, given how long most cans were created, it's usually a safe bet to eat the freeze-dried, but not the things in the can. But that said, beggars and choosers.
Achira was looking for drinking juices and didn't really find that, but doesn't like to waste food. And if it doesn't smell like it's bad, then Achira is going to pocket the canteen and walk over to whoever's the closest member of the party. When she walks over, pretend that she's eating, and then offer the can over to whoever that is.
Yeah, you walk over to Philippe, and he takes it. Thank you. This will be good. Yeah. It's got to be better than the beans I was eating yesterday. And starts kind of like poking through the can, eating them with his hands. Doesn't seem to have any reaction. He just eats.
Achira's gonna walk away while also looking at him to see how this goes over like the next half hour or so.
Yeah, okay. So I'll allow you to make that assessment when the time comes. Juniper and Arya, you and Barrett and Kit and Crash are making your way through a series of corridors. Every once in a while, you find an area that has been scattered with corpses.
Was this here when you all came through, or is this new stuff? New
Juniper, the body that you're currently looking at is that of Blockbuster. He's lying face down, spread out, and there's thick, black, heavy blood that's pooled around him. His flesh, although you cannot see his face, is pale gray and etched with veins of purple and black.
So the last time I saw this guy, he was being attacked by Romero. So we should probably go.
Real quick though, does he have any supplies on him?
Yeah, we should search the body at least, you know.
If he turns into Romero and bites one of you too, I'm gonna go. But I did warn you.
I mean, it looks like he was headshot. Why are you paranoid for? You hit him in the head, they don't come back up.
Okay, well, I guess that happened when I wasn't around. I don't know, but I just.
What's your deal?
Yeah.
A lot of bad things have happened today. It's been a really bad day. Couple of days, week.
Juniper,
I don't know what day it is.
There are a few arrows scattered out around you.
Oh.
Some of your arrows. You've been in this section before, although they all look the same to you now.
I would like to start picking up my arrows if I can get a couple.
You get 4 arrows that are unbroken. It also looks like they're. Do you want to make a spot listen check for me?
Or whoop.
No dice of difficulty attached to that.
Okay. Ooh, 4 degrees of success.
Yeah, you see a number of boots. You see fresh blood that doesn't match what's come out of Blockbuster, and you see that something happened here. There was definitely a fight, and there were people moving about. Also, this is where you were earlier, but some of your arrows are here. So either they fell out of your quiver and you didn't notice, or somebody was trying to carry your quiver somewhere else.
So, real quick, you're the one with the bow and arrow, and there's a bunch of arrows around this. Are you the one who shot him?
No, he was shot with a gun. Was he shot with a gun?
You don't know exactly what he was shot with.
Clearly, he was shot by. I just say clearly he was shot by a gun because an arrow can't. It would be stuck in a.
Well, how do we know that you didn't just pull the arrow out?
Would I shoot? Even if I did kill this person, who I don't even know who this is, by the way, never got his name. It doesn't matter because there were Romeros everywhere. He clearly got bit and was gonna turn, and now I've got these. I just want to get out of here. I told you, you guys could just take
Somebody
whatever.
picked this guy clean. There ain't a damn thing on him.
Well,
I'm surprised he's still wearing his socks.
Weird.
Who are you?
June, despite the fact that you are now being held back by, are you holding your gun up, Arya?
Oh yes.
Okay, you're being held at gunpoint by the woman Arya. Barrett is down on the ground, has flipped this body over, and now you see his face. And you see the face of the man that saved your life with the nunchucks that attacked Abigail. And his flesh is pulled tight across his face. And his eyes are open and pitch black. And there is a scarification on his forehead, a symbol that has been carved into it. And right at the side of it, a hole.
What is that mark on his head? Have you seen that before?
Why don't you tell us?
I literally just said I don't know what it is, and I asked you if you knew what it was. So now neither of us know what it is.
That's a fucking likely story. Why don't you write that again?
Okay, well, you don't know me, but I will tell you this about me is that I don't know how to lie because it's very difficult for me. I've tried, and
Real quick, what color's your eyes?
I don't know. I don't have like a mirror.
Wow.
Ever.
Really? You don't know what color your eyes are?
Black? Is that a color?
Immediately, the body leaps forward, grabbing onto Barrett and pulling him down to the ground. Ripping into Barrett's flesh, Barrett pulls back as sinew sprays blood across the wall of the cavern. I need both of your intentions as the corpse on the ground is now attacking.
Well, what did I say? It's gonna happen. I'm gonna try to grab the kids and run.
You can grab one of the kids and run. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, if you grab both of them, you will be heavily encumbered and will be very slow.
I grab both of them and I'm slow.
Very well. You grab both of the children. Arya, you watch as this happens. What is your intention in this moment?
I look at Barrett like in complete fear and like I try to be a badass, but eyes like wide open, and I mouth, I'm so sorry, and I bolt.
Okay, and do you run in the same direction as Juniper and the children? You notice that Juniper is a small woman holding these two fairly small but old enough children that it is causing her to move slowly. Do you assist her, or do you continue to run, ensuring your safety?
No, I keep running.
That tracks.
All right. So as we have established now your intentions, we're going to make rolls. I would like for you, Arya, to only add 1 blue die to your roll, which is going to determine the initiative for this action. We will alter those actions based on how the speed dies are resolved. Juniper, I need you to add 3 blue die to your roll.
Cool. And what am I rolling?
So you're obviously not doing this in any way that is quiet. So I want you to make endurance rolls as you are pressing as fast as you can to run as far and as quickly away as possible. So both of you are making the same roll, which will be endurance. And Juniper, on the ground, you see very clearly tracks that you... Okay, that's very bad. We will deal with that in a moment. So, you see tracks on the ground. Do you follow the tracks, or do you head into a cavern that has no tracks? Those are your 2 options.
Oh, Christ. Follow the tracks.
Okay, so you're going to follow the tracks. Unfortunately, you have rolled 5 degrees of failure with a speed of 9.
Cool.
Now you have 3 competency points. I can allow you to mitigate some of that failure and make it less of a failure, or we can work together to find out how this resolves itself.
I'm going to use the competency points because that's too many. That'll kill me. So I would like to make it to 2 degrees of failure instead, please.
Spending all 3 of your competency points in this moment, Juniper, you have mitigated the disastrous outcome and are simply moving very slowly. You already feel a heavy sheen of sweat work across you as these catatonic children continue to shake and shiver, even more so in your arms now. You hear them murmuring in your ear, "No, no, not again, not again, not again, not again." And you feel wetness along your legs as they have wet themselves as you continue to run in terror. Arya, you only have 1 degree of failure in this moment with a speed of 3, which is very good. Do you wish to use your competency to make this a success, or do you wish to take the single degree of failure?
I'll take the single degree of failure.
You are not as far behind as Juniper is, and you and the others are rushing through the corridor. You saw the direction that Juniper was headed. Do you continue down that passageway, or do you go down another?
I follow Juniper.
Well, you are no longer following Juniper unless you choose to, because you will surpass her very easily. Do you pass Juniper and run down the corridor that she was headed, or do you run alongside or potentially change your action and assist Juniper with one of these children? Because if you're hoping to follow Juniper's path, you will not be able to do so for long. Juniper is far out encumbered by this situation.
I'd like to catch up to Juniper, see what's going on, and go, "Oh," and grab one of the kids.
Okay, thank you for being helpful. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay.
That one's kind of wet. Sorry.
There are horrible screams issuing from the cavern behind you, echoing off of these rocky passageways as Barrett screams, "No! Ah! Get off me, you son of a..." Gunfire begins erupting. The shot-off shotgun fires once, and then twice. And then everything is quiet as the 4 of you continue to rush through the caverns. As the final shotgun blast issues forth, there is a rumbling sound. Something other than the terrifying noises of that Romero or of Barrett's death. It is the rumble of a cave-in as rocks begin falling behind you.
Oh.
We're going to take a short break. And when we return, we will resolve this situation. Please, don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Hunter's Entertainment on twitch.tv. My name is Knoxweiler-Burf, and I am your game master tonight. You, in chat, have been very busy. We thank you for your patronage and your attention. You still have some time to interface directly with the Scry application and make choices that can adversely or positively affect the players. The choices that are made will determine the outcome of this scenario. We encourage you, please, stay involved. This is just becoming interesting. Lampwick, try as you might, you toss and turn, and when you begin to fade off into sleep, your eyes dart back open as you descend into chaotic nightmares. The pain that is working its way through you is intense. Without anything stronger than a few swigs of whiskey, you don't think that you're going to be able to sleep tonight. And while you can rest in the cot as much as you might, sleeping is going to escape you.
I'm gonna kind of like try to sit up. hey, I need. Is there something here that's stronger than this whiskey? I need it. You guys, I need a rest. Doc, where's the doctor?
I think you pissed her off, Snowflake. She's been in that hallway now for over 3 hours. So like maybe next time don't piss people off and you'd be able to get some medical care a little better, right?
I did get a little bit of medical care. I think that if she was pissed off, it wasn't my fault. And I think that I kind of helped smooth that situation out. Anyways, maybe,
look, I can help you. We made that arrangement, right? You're going to travel with us and yeah, Philippe and I got your back. Don't worry about it.
Can you help me? I need to find something. The doc said, somebody said there was some supplies in this place. Clearly there's stuff in these boxes.
All right. Just lay back there, okay? You're gonna.
You guys all voted that we were going to watch Grease 2. Are you going to watch it or not?
I'm not watching that. I'm going to try to sleep.
Holy hell, I didn't know that Grease 2 was going to piss you off so much.
I'm not mad. I'm just trying to
No. Kusanagi, he's growing a pair. It's growing on me.
Listen, you guys promised that we can watch one of mine after we finish Grease 2. So the sooner we get through this, the better.
All right,
look, if you want to turn off Grease 2, go ahead. You know, kid, you're the one who put this together. Go for it. But watch whatever you like. Where's Achira?
Achira, have you've seen this one before? I don't want to mess it up.
Where is Achira right now?
Achira is in the darkest corner, furthest away from everyone. She's noticed that Philippe has been okay with the green beans that she gave. She's then opened similar cans that looked like that in the same section, and is pouring that water into the canteen that she found. She has put a number of sedatives at the bottom of it.
All right. You do so. I'm not going to make you make a roll for that because everyone here has been arguing like cats and dogs. It's quite easy for you to move unseen in the dark corner of this safe house. Meanwhile, you hear them calling out your name.
She caps what she's been able to put together, takes the 3 or 4 cans that she's been able to open, steps out of a different section and walks towards them, munching on the green beans. Yeah?
What did you find there?
The same thing you're eating.
Nothing else good back there?
Nothing else I'd try to open up because, once you open it, you got to eat it right away.
Yeah, we call that tin can roulette.
That's the name for it.
Did you know that the preservatives in some snack food products will make them probably be good long after we're dead?
Did
Well,
you
let's hope.
know that Grease 2 was one of the lowest rated sequels of all of 1994?
I did.
Oh, all right. Grease 2 it is, huh? Right? Yeah, is that what's on?
But it wasn't 94, was it?
No, I'm just saying in 1994, that's when it was rated like one of the lowest sequels. Not that it was released then.
Gotcha.
Achira, did you leave any of the pills for the sedatives in the box that's back there, or did you take everything?
She definitely left some of the sedative pills. What she has right now is enough. She thinks she's guesstimating to knock out maybe 1 to 2 people that might share this canteen.
Okay. Pushing through the boxes inside of the chain link cage on the far side of the safe house, Philippe walks out with a box. All right, you seem to be in luck, but listen, I am no doctor, and there is a lot of pills in here that are quite strange. These are handmade. Do you want to take the risk here, Lampwick?
I need something. I mean, I'm already taking a risk staying awake. I need to get better. So let me see what you got.
All right, if that is what you want. He starts digging through.
Achira has a visceral response to Lampwick just taking anonymous pills. This isn't explained to anybody why she would immediately like stand in front of him about to just grab anonymous pills.
Are you standing in front of me, stopping me from taking them from him?
A voice from the back of the room. Stop.
What?
Dr. Maria Espinosa is standing. Her eyes are puffy. She's clearly been crying, but she is standing now before all of you. Her middle-aged face is now a picture of very tense, serious disapproval. Don't give him anything out of those. Not until I've looked at them.
All right.
You got it, Doc. I'm no doctor. I don't want to give him anything that might not sit well with him. You do what you got to do. And the doctor pushes forward and looks at the bottles. She shakes out the pills onto the mattress next to you and starts pushing through them. And she looks at every pill and then pulls a few of them randomly aside, pushing the rest into the bottle, slamming it shut, and then handing it to you.
I'll take them. How many pills does she give me?
She gives you a bottle with probably 20 pills in it.
All right. Am I just supposed to take one? How much is the recommended dosage?
You're going to take one a day. Don't take any more.
All right.
One a day. Do you hear me?
I do, loud and clear.
These aren't recreational fun time drugs. You know that, right?
I know. I'm not interested in that.
They will kill you. And by the way, if any of you think that you're clever and have stashed any of these bottles into your pocket, every 10th pill is rat poison.
Copy that. How
just to make sure that anyone who takes it pays for it. Because in this world, you pay for what you take.
So no rat poison in this one, right?
She stops and looks at you, and for the first time in hours, she smiles, turning and walking away.
Oh, great. Anybody want to take a pill? No, just me? All right.
Achira walks by and just like looks at Lampwick and just kind of chuckles and walks off.
Ha ha ha. Ha ha. All right, well, I mean, I'm trusting you, Doc. I know we're on the same team here. I'm going to look at the pills and see if I can distinguish. Are the 3 that she took out, are they still on the bed?
I mean, she took about probably 6 or 7 out, and they're still on the bed, yeah.
I'm going to take a look at one that's inside. I'm going to pull one from the bottle and see if I can compare them and see if there's anything that distinguishes them from each other.
Mm-hmm. Make a first aid roll for me.
Okay.
You have 3 difficulty dice attached to it.
All right.
Because as far as you can tell from the exterior, they look identical to the others. There's no little marking. There's no difference in size. The color seems the same, but they all have a slightly different color. You have 5 degrees of failure, which makes me want to tell you that you are fairly certain that those are the exact same pills and that she is full of shit.
The ones that are there's significantly more pills in the bottle.
Yes.
Than,
yeah, you've got 20 or 30 pills there.
Are they capsules with powder inside?
No. They're hand-rolled pills. They're like horse pills almost. But they're chalky and they've been hand-pressed maybe in some sort of specific machine or something. But it doesn't they all look irregular.
Okay. I'm going to take one of the ones from the bottle and I'm going to see if I can bite off about a third of it. So if it is something that makes me sick, maybe I can throw it up. But if it's something that does make me groggy and sleepy, then at least I'll be able to compare.
Okay, so you bite a third of the pill and you swallow it, and it's chalky, and you almost choke it up as you take it. But it doesn't really have any effect on you at first, and we'll come back to you.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna go lay down after that.
Kusanagi Achira, I would like for you to make a spot listen check, please.
Is there anything that gear-wise that can be utilized with that? I know my recon gear is mainly for stealthing.
Yeah, and I don't feel like you've got your recon gear out actively being used, as you are, doing a little homebrew pharmacy in the corner. So I would say no to that.
Indeed.
Kusanagi, you have 1 degree of failure. Achira, you have 5 degrees of failure, and you are so enthralled by watching Lampwick play medical roulette that you don't hear anything. Kusanagi, did you want to mitigate that failure, or do you want to ride it out?
I think I do want to mitigate it. If I use 1 competence point, does that just make it a wash? Or
It makes it a wash, and the way that I play this game is a wash is still a failure, but there are absolutely no ill effects tied to it. But also no positive effects.
I think I'm going to hold on to the competence point then.
Okay. So Kusanagi, you do not hear. Rowan turns and grabs her gun, leaps over the couch, and rushes towards the door.
Okay, so somebody doesn't want to watch the Lawnmower Man.
Philippe is like, what the fuck? And turns and follows Rowan. Rowan shouts out, "You're gonna want to get the keys."
I don't got the keys. I'm trying to fall asleep.
Achira, you do have the keys. You took them from the doctor, so you are still holding on to them. They are in the side pocket of your jacket.
Yeah, I made sure that nobody else saw it when I was taking it, though.
Yeah, you think she was talking to the doctor, because last anyone knew in the group, the doctor had the keys. Otherwise, you are all locked in. Now all of you hear what sent Rowan leaping out of the couch and into the other corridor. There is a rumbling noise, and there is a collapse somewhere further into the mines. From the ceiling of this safe house, a very small sprinkling of dust shakes loose. However, after the rumbling resolves itself, the room that you're in seems secure. Doc, we need the keys. I've got to know if we're going to be able to get back out. Doc. Maria doesn't intentionally look at you, Achira, but you can tell that she's standing very, very stoically in the center of the room.
What's going on?
What was that noise? What the hell was that?
Juniper, Aria, you have continued to run as rocks collapse behind you. There is dust everywhere, and you are choking. You enter into a corridor that terminates at a large metal door. It is closed.
Okay, this is bad. This is bad. This is bad.
There are rocks that have been excavated from this area and put off to the sides. What did the two of you wish to do?
I'd launch myself at that door and try to open it.
I'm gonna hold back a second and actually kind of assess the situation. Do I see anything at first glance that would be triggering in terms of being able to open the door? Is there a lock, a latch, something that we can lock onto to try to open it?
Well, there is a large metal latch, and unlike many of the other doors here, this seems much more professionally made. It doesn't feel like it was just roughly welded together. Aria, you've seen this on movie sets, really, but it looks like a bank vault door almost. And it's got a large, heavy metal latch that pulls downward. And inside of it, there's a large slot for a wide, flat key.
So I'm gonna go up to it and totally like as if I knew my blocking and my lines, and I'm just gonna go up to the door and just kind of like start like moving around and like trying to see if I like can understand like how it opens.
I'm kicking the door. I'm kicking the door to try to open it.
And both of you are holding a child at this point. Do you set them down or do you continue to carry them?
I'm holding one of the kids.
I keep mine. Yeah.
All right.
My satchel of child.
There's a lot of dust behind you. It's unclear as to how open the passageway behind you is. It seems like the majority of the cave-in happened in the section where the Romero attacked Barrett.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're not sure, but from the sound of it, without investigating, it seems as if you will not be able to come back out the way that you came in.
Even better.
Can I know the kid's catatonic, but I'm going to talk to the kid and be like, hey kid, grab onto my back. And I'm going to basically like put the kid on like a backpack almost.
Yes, they don't listen. And again, as I've said to you, until you have them in a secure location, the degrees of failure that you and Juniper both have already rolled to try to calm these kids has been atrocious.
Yeah, not good.
So they're dead weight.
Does the kicking not open the door? No.
The kicking definitely doesn't open the door.
I was checking. Okay.
However, everyone inside of the safe house now hears a dull thudding at the door. And Rowan's like, new plan. Romero's are on the other side. And grabs her gun, and you hear it, the hammer pull back.
Oh, don't kill me, girl. Okay.
Both.
Are you sure they're Romero's, Rowan?
Juniper, Aria, make a spot listen check, please.
All right. Any difficulty?
Yes, I would like, because of the thick door and the rumbling behind you, you have 3 dice of difficulty, which means 3 black dice. Yes.
Come on.
You said three black?
3 black dice added to it.
Oh, that's so bad. That's 5 degrees of failure for the audience listening right now.
And you're going to take those as you've already spent your competency, isn't
sure
that correct?
Did. I'm gonna die against this door frame.
That is a combined 10 degrees of failure on all of your parts. You hear nothing from the other side of the door. In fact, around you, dust and debris continues to fall. And what you hear is something moving through rubble behind you.
Oh my god. I try to shoot the lock of the door.
Can I back away from the door before she does that?
Well, those are your intentions. So both of you can roll. I will have you make a dodge, Aria.
Mm-hmm.
And then no degrees or no dice of difficulty added to that. As you kind of see Juniper telegraph this as she pulls the gun that she has and holds it at the lock. Juniper, this is very serious metal in front of you. So roll your pistol skill. But I'm going to give you 3 dice of difficulty to shoot this lock precisely in the way that it would take to unlock it.
All right. 1 degree of success.
That is impressive, given all of the constraints that have been placed upon you.
Oh my god.
Wow.
So Arya, you fall to the ground effectively, and this kid lands on top of you as you hit the rocks in front of you. Juniper, your pistol rings out, and the bullet actually hits the interior of the lock and wedges itself onto the interior. There is a metallic clunk, and it doesn't ricochet off.
I kicked the door again.
You kick the door. Now, for your single degree of success, it doesn't blow the lock off. This is a large, almost bank-like vault. It isn't so simple. However, because you did succeed, everyone within the safe house hears the ringing of a gunshot and the sharp ping of the bullet as it hits the door.
Oh, wait, there's people on the other side. We know the Romeros don't shoot guns.
Yeah, Achira's gonna run up to the doctor like she's taking the keys to then run to the door.
The doctor doesn't ever break her eyes from yours as you do this. She doesn't say anything, but there's a certain amount of understanding in her eyes as you do this. She doesn't do anything that would tip your hand. You then rush into the hallway. Kusanagi, what do you do?
I take my Trapper Keeper and a VHS tape that I have in my hand, which has a label on it that says Mysterious Cities of Gold. And I put those in my bag and I back away down the hallway, away from the door.
You lie in bed, Lampwick, because you are now beginning to feel very soft and fuzzy, as you don't really care so much about what's happening around you as you feel like you're floating. You're slightly amused by the tingle in your fingers, and the pain in your side is almost completely gone. It's still there, but these seem to be the real deal, and very good.
Glad I only took a little bit of one. Jeez.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to do while this is happening?
I know that was a gunshot. I know there's got to be people. I just call out like I did. There's got to be people. Romeros don't shoot guns, and then I kind of moved to get up, but then just kind of go back and lay down and look up.
The concrete ceiling swirls ahead of you, and it pulses very lightly like it's breathing.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Meanwhile, Philippe has his rifle and has taken a knee at the far end of the corridor and is pointing at the door. I've got you covered. Rowan pulls over to the side so that when the door opens, she's unseen, and she has her gun up. Are you opening this door? Looking to you, Achira. All right.
Yes.
They come at you. We're going to fire, you drop. Capiche?
Sounds like a plan. It's like I've never been here.
Whenever you're ready. She stands there.
I'm yelling at the other side of the door. Hey, do you think the door is like a pull, not a push, or like what? Ah!
Go ahead. What are you doing?
I was gonna say, I had this ability that I learned on set that like I could probably kick it a little bit, like maybe a little bit better than what you did.
What's a set? What are you saying? What? Okay, what?
Achira, I'll have you roll a spot listen. And you're gonna have because of all of the noise and the rumbling, you have 2 dice of difficulty added to this. Juniper is being very loud.
Try pulling it! Just screaming. But I'm using like my foot because I have a kid. I'm holding the kid.
Yeah.
Trying to like kick. You know how you kick the door? You pull a door open with your foot.
With 5 degrees of failure, you hear absolutely nothing. And in fact, it's very quiet on the other side. You're not sure that if there was anyone alive, that they are still alive. You're anticipating that the dead may be waiting for you. Still, do you open the door?
Yes, but Achira has unshouldered her long gun and has that for when she opens and drops, that she'll be able to get that up because she's anticipating a firefight.
Make a lift pull, as this door is very heavy and very difficult to manage.
Yeah, this one.
No dice of difficulty.
Yeah, that's a very low roll. We shall see. I'm 5 for 5s at this point.
With 5 degrees of failure, do you wish to spend anything to try to mitigate that failure?
No, she does not have the tumble and pull that she thinks that she does. It's not there at this point.
You pull backwards on the door and it doesn't budge. Arya and Juniper, further down that corridor, beyond where the collapse has happened, there is a tumble of rock. And you hear something. It sounds like a chain being dragged against stone.
Right, great. Okay, so you work on the door. I'm gonna try something. Okay, great. Kid, you stay here.
You place Kit on the ground, and Kit just stands there staring off into space. What do you do, Arya?
I'm gonna pull out my pistol.
Okay.
And I'm gonna take as best aim as possible, and anything that's coming through the back end from us, I'm gonna shoot at it.
Make a spot listen check. No dice of difficulty necessary. It is covered in this fog of dust and debris, and the flickering lantern that is on the floor here that has been set down is casting this light, but it is not enough to illuminate that far area. However, you have gotten a single success. And with that success, I will describe to you what you see. At first, you're uncertain, Arya. It lurches forward. It doesn't walk normally. It seems broken and shattered. It is a large figure, heavily muscled. It's dragging its left leg behind it. And as it enters into the light of the lantern, you see a face, or rather, the remains of a face. From the tattered clothing, you recognize the body that Barrett had turned over. Its forehead, the skin still on it, has that sigil carved upon it. However, now, whether due to the fight with Barrett, the sawed-off shotgun, or perhaps the collapse of all of the rocks from the ceiling, this figure has no skin from its forehead down, and is a bloody skeletal gaze with black eyes that pulse and undulate within it. Its jaw has been completely ripped off, and its tongue hangs from an open, gaping wound that was once its throat. It lashes out wildly like a tentacle, and it drags behind it a rusted chain with a large metal wheel from a mining cart.
Oh Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay, and she's gonna just start popping rounds into him.
Go ahead and roll to strike, please. Use your pistol skill. In the darkness and the dust, and because you have made your success, I'm not going to impose any dice of difficulty upon you, Arya. Meanwhile, Juniper, gunshot begins ringing out behind you. What are you doing?
I'm trying to open the door still.
Okay, so I need you to make a lift push
Okay.
or a lift pull.
Yeah.
And I need everyone to roll a single, I'll roll your speed die for you. You roll a single speed die, Arya. You're going on a 2. And then roll your speed die as well, Juniper, or I can do it for you.
Oh, yes, please do it for me.
Yeah, you also are going on a 2. So both of you are going to operate at the same moment. Your gunshot rings out, and Arya, I hate to tell you this, but you have hit this figure in the chest multiple times, and it just continues walking forward as if nothing has happened. Juniper, you press your shoulder into it, and immediately you hear a popping. Do you wish to mitigate the 5 degrees of failure that you have on opening this door?
I cannot do anything about it except to fail. No more competency points.
You have pushed your shoulder out of socket.
Cool, yes.
Shoving onto this door. You will not be able to do anything other than carry one of the children if you choose to do that. On the other side of the door, Achira is struggling. Kusanagi, you're in the far part of this room, aren't you?
I think at this point, if I see that Achira is struggling with the door, I want to move up and try to help her.
You see nothing. It is a long hallway off of this main space. So all you would see really is the back of Philippe as he kneels to the ground, training a rifle on the door.
Would Achira be grunting as she's struggling with the door, though?
Fair. Make a spot listen check with no degrees of difficulty added, no dice of difficulty, Kusanagi. And we'll see what happens. You hear Achira desperately grunting as she pulls on the door. Rowan looks over at you, Achira. Hey, look, you got to get that door open. Neither of us are going to move. We're covering you. Just do it. Come on, girl. Put your back into it.
Well, apparently I can't. It's a heavier door than I thought that it would be.
You can do it. Come on.
There's only so much that I can do, and it's not this door. I can cover one of you if there's someone help me here.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Kusanagi, what are you doing?
Felipe, I'm going to cross in front of you and move up to help, okay? So don't shoot me.
All right. I will not shoot you.
All right. I hustle past him, and I make it to a chair, and I go, how can I help?
I need more muscle right here. Something happened with the lock. It's stuck.
All right, let's do it then. On 3?
Both of you with no dice of difficulty can make lift pull because you're assisting each other. Your successes or your failures will be combined. That is 1 success from Kusanagi and 2 successes from Achira. The difficulty that I had set for the door is 3. You have just hit the amount needed. And the door very slowly and very carefully creaks halfway open. On the other side of the door, Arya, this thing is coming closer to you. You have fired your weapon, and as soon as that door opens, you hear gunshots from the other side. Juniper, the door is open. Your arm is in an immense amount of pain. You've got 2 children in front of you. What do?
First of all, I'm in a lot of pain. Just go inside. And I yell around the corner of the door, there's 2 kids coming in. Just let them in. There's something out here. And I just shove them through with my foot.
All right. So that is your intention. Since you're pushing the kids, I will allow you to make a lift pull with 2 dice of difficulty because of your injury. And that will be your action. But do roll me a single speed die so that we can determine the order that this is all going to happen. Achira, Kusanagi, as soon as the door is open, what are your intentions?
I'm going to find out what's going on the other side of the door. We've opened it like halfway. I would think that Achira would still be looking out for Abigail and Juniper since she found Lampwick.
So you can make a spot listen, and there will be no degrees or no dice of difficulty added to that, but I do want you to roll a single speed die so we can determine what you perceive in the moment. Kusanagi, what is your action?
I'm going to unholster my pistol, and I'm looking at Achira to basically let her know that I'm covering her.
Rowan also connects with you and motions you back so that both of you can be ready in case something comes through it. All right. So make a roll for your pistol. You do not have to fire, but we will determine how well you will do if you do that, Kusanagi. I would also ask that you put a single speed die onto it. There are no dice of difficulty. And then finally, Arya, what is your action? What would you like to do in this moment?
I am going to protect Juniper as much as possible. So even though I didn't get it successful, hit the thing successfully, I'm going to try popping another round into them.
You have found a great amount of heroism in this moment, and you are going to try to fire again. You can roll your pistol. Be sure to add 1 black die of difficulty to it, and 1 die for your speed, so 1 blue die as well. It should give you that option as soon as you call it up.
Oh.
I'll resolve this in order then, because that will be crucially important. You are so lucky.
I do have a question before we
Yes.
I realized I was muted, but then you saw my mouth moving, so you already knew what I was gonna ask.
It is a location hazard.
Thank you.
You have 4 additional competency points, and you may spend them on others if you choose, because you are now gathered together as a group. Now, I will say that Arya has only 1 degree of failure, but more importantly, Arya has the initiative and will act first. So given this and the fact that Arya will act first, followed by Achira and Juniper, both of whom are going to fail as it stands, followed by this attacker, and then Kusanagi will act, firing as well. Is there anything that any of you would like to do, spending competency, to be able to mitigate these things?
If it's a location hazard, I also have 2 points in acumen.
You have gained 2 additional competency points.
Right.
Arya?
Could I spend a competency point to help with
How
my
many
situation?
competency points do you have left, Arya?
I haven't spent any, so I have 3.
You have 3 competency points, and I will not tell you how to use them. But if you spend 1 competency point, it creates a wash, which means that you will do no damage whatsoever, but you will certainly hit your target, but to no effect. If you spend additional competency points beyond that, you will hit and damage your target.
I'm going to spend 2 competency.
Leaving 1 for a rainy day.
Yes.
I hope you see that day.
Me too.
With 2 competency points spent, Arya, acting on a 1, you fire, and you strike your target. Its body jolts backwards. I am going to roll the damage for your weapon on this side to keep it simple. You have hit the figure in the head multiple times, and it jolts backwards. You have slowed it down. As it whips itself around, its tongue lashing out after it, dragging this chain, you can see that it's about to pull it back and fling this heavy metal wheel in your direction. You have damaged your target, but you have not dropped it. Juniper and Achira, both of you have failed with 4 degrees of failure. Is there anything that either of you wish to do as you are trying to assess the situation and push these children forward?
I don't have any more competency points left to use, so I cannot. I don't believe, unless I'm missing something.
I was just doing a spot listen, so I mean everyone sees that there's something there. I don't know what I could utilize that would help seeing this creature more. So I think
it is not the creature that you are trying to see. From the other side of the doorway, Achira, you see dark shapes. The dirt flows into the chamber that you are currently within. Your eyes immediately tear up, and you are having trouble seeing at all. But what you do see are dark forms, and you hear muted shouts, but you can't make them out. 3 figures are in front of you.
Since Achira had her long gun that she was holding, and those figures are right in front of her, from what she would do, she would stumble back so that she could get more range to then focus on them, because she wouldn't feel like she'd have time to pull her hand scythe. So she would vacate the door to where she might be able to close it quickly. She would go back to try to get her gun up because she'd try to shoot one of these figures.
Very fair. You pull back from the doorway, reaching for your gun. That will be the conclusion of your round. Juniper, the children fall to the ground as you try to push them through the doorway. They don't move. They're just shaking.
I move in front of them and I just, let's see, what shoulder is it my left shoulder that's popped out, so I can't use this arm anymore?
Right, it's your left shoulder.
I get kind of in front of them and I grab one of them just like by the arm, and I try to drag one at a time through with my one good arm.
Arya, the figure in front of you, lashes out with this large metal chain, this metal wheel hooked to it. What is your damage threshold?
Oh. Where do I locate that?
It is on the top of your character sheet. If you look to the right, you'll see injuries and damage threshold. And there is a number that should tell us exactly how much your damage threshold is. You have a damage threshold of 8. You are very hardy. I want you to write these numbers down. And the way that damage works is you have to assign them as you gather each of these numbers. If your damage threshold is not exceeded, you do not take an injury, but you are wounded. You have a 5, a 2, and a 1, which is exactly an 8, which means that you have met your damage threshold, and you have to take at least one of those dice as an injury and move it over to your injury track, which means that you are in fact injured, even if it is slightly. So assuming that you would want to remove the highest number so that you do not have to deal with it if you receive more, we'll say that you pushed your 5, if that's acceptable to you. You now have a 1 and a 2 still on your threshold. However, you have carried over your 5. The wheel collides into your chest, and you are thrown backwards as the figure pulls it back. There is a heavy cracking noise, and your chest is filled with an immense amount of pain as you roll across the ground to Juniper's feet. You were knocked at least 12 feet back.
Oh, God. Please, somebody help.
At the end of the round, Kusanagi, with the door open now, you hear voices, and it becomes clear that these people are alive and in danger. You have your gun ready. Would you like to change your action to adjust what you had planned on doing, or do you wish to stand ready to fire at anything that appears?
Can I see this furthest figure that just whipped out this chain and all this stuff?
You cannot yet see that figure, but you do hear something further away that doesn't sound normal.
I mean, I'd like to just try to shoot towards basically the center of that hallway, you know, like just try to follow back. If I saw this chain connect with somebody, I just want to try to follow that momentum from it and aim and fire into that area.
I will allow it. However, Kusanagi, this will be the trade-off. You will have to step outside of the door to be able to make that shot, meaning that while the others may be able to move past you, you will be putting yourself at greater risk.
I will do that if I can spend some of the 5 competency points I have to make that shot as accurate as possible.
Absolutely. So go ahead and make, let's see, where was your pistol shot at? It was at 2 degrees of failure when you had fired?
Yeah.
You can spend as much competency as you would like. If you spend 3, you will damage your opponent.
I'd like to, let me ask if this is okay. I'd like to spend all 5, which that would bring it up to 3 successes, but I also have the sharpshooter quality, which would give me another bump of 1. Does that bring me to a headshot?
I'll allow it. But you will be outside the door.
Yeah. Just slightly though, right?
That is correct. Just a few feet away. But you will be exposed. As long as we understand that, then we can proceed.
All right.
Kusanagi pushes past everyone, dropping to the ground, raising his pistol, and as this figure appears, you recognize the form of Blockbuster. However, he has become an abomination, far too terrifying to truly describe. His tongue lolls out wildly from a gaping hole where his jaw should be. A skeletal face. If it weren't for the clothing that is shredded that he's wearing currently, you would not have recognized him. But on the center of his forehead, you do clearly see that sigil. And you take aim. And with a sharp intake of breath, you exhale as you carefully pull the trigger. Arya, on the ground, you see a figure over you, a shadow. Juniper, a stranger, has just appeared in front of you as well. You don't recognize him. He pulls a gun out. You know you can't do anything about it. And then he fires past you. As you see this creature turn around the corner, dragging this massive metal wheel on a long chain. Your shot, Kusanagi, is true. And the massive figure of Blockbuster drops to the ground, falling onto his back. His knees bend inward at a horrible angle. The chain drops to the ground as he twitches for a long moment, and a gout of black liquid vomits forth from the hole where his jaw should be, but isn't. And then a moment later, the figure slumps and is no longer moving. And the rumbling in the far distance settles. And everything is quiet. What do the rest of you do?
I'm sort of like half crawling and then like crawl to like a foot and then just sort of reach back and like pull a child a foot forward and fling them and then do that again until we're kind of more in the doorway.
Achira, you immediately recognize Juniper, and the two twins that have been rescued are with her.
Yeah. Achira looks at the two kids and then looks over at the doctor to see if she sees the kids, but it's more like if the doctor doesn't see, then Achira's going to be like, here. But she's striding out the door right now. She wants to go look at that body.
Rowan is covering you and stands right behind you, Achira. Her gun is still at the ready.
Achira's going to go up to the body of this individual. She doesn't know his name. No, I think Kusanagi might have said before, but no matter what, Achira's intention is to remove the head from this body.
All right. I'm not going to have us make any rolls at this point for that action. The body is not moving. You make your way over, and what are you removing the head with?
Achira, go ahead and pull her scythe for it.
Okay.
Her hand scythe.
You start sawing through the remains of the neck. I would like for you, while this isn't an initiative action, I do need to have you roll to see how successful this is.
For slashing? Because I have a...
You can do slashing to remove the head.
Okay.
I will tell you now that if you fail, you're going to make a mess, and that can be dangerous.
Yeah, I know. Ugh.
Do you wish to continue?
Yeah, I don't want, not like the dude out in the field. We don't need this guy getting back up when he's right in front of the safe house. If I can't take off this head, Achira's going to run, just like she did before with the bunker.
All right. Well, let's see how you do. Go ahead and do your slashing. I'm not going to add any difficulty dice to that. You can just make the roll. Your opponent is absolutely prone and is not making any moves whatsoever. There is a slight gurgle of this black fluid that is bubbling forth from the wound on the neck, and the tongue just very slightly twitches. You have 4 degrees of success, which is absolutely enough to remove the head. You saw through it, and while it does splatter and sputter, none of it splashes onto you in any way that would be problematic. You are safe. Juniper, the children are now inside of this hallway, and you start recognizing a few of the faces. You see Achira, but these others you don't know. There are strangers here. Some of them have moved past you. There is a small man with kind of a hooked nose and a beanie cap who is pointing a rifle down the hallway. If you aren't dead, you should probably get out of the hallway, yeah?
What? I can't understand everything. I'm just sort of like, I am still just like half face down on the ground, pulling myself forward like...
Come the fuck on. Get out of the hallway.
Achira, is that you?
Lying on the ground is Arya. Arya, what do? You see this shadow near you.
I'm gonna reach up to the shadow just to kind of indicate that I'm alive, but like I feel like I probably would have fainted somehow from all of the pain that's being felt.
Oh my God, wait, is that shadow near Achira where she could like look Arya in the face?
So the first thing that happens, Kusanagi, a hand grabs you as you are still kind of training your pistol on this figure, and you look down, and it takes a moment. You have this impossible sense of recognition. You know this person, but you can't place it. You don't know where you've met her. She's very beautiful, but obviously weathered from the life that everyone leads these days. But there's something about her face that you can't quite place. What I would like for you to do is I'm going to allow this to be just a straight perception roll. So go ahead and toss some dice for me, and let's see if you can put these pieces together.
I just click on the perception.
Yeah,
box?
it should give you the option to be able to just roll without. If so, we could always add a skill to it.
Yeah, when I click on it, it just goes for me to like
go to spot listen and roll a spot listen.
Okay.
Despite all of the difficulty attached to that, you have 1 degree of success. Now, do you have any competency points left, and would you like to use them?
I didn't. I blew all of them on.
You blew everything.
Yeah.
Is it possible for the earlier conversations that Achira and Kusanagi did, like stimulating those synapses, if some of my competency points could then aid this spot listen?
How many competency points are you willing to spend here, Achira?
2?
I will allow that if you spend 2 competency points for this action. So with 3 competency points total, Kusanagi, despite all possibility, despite an impossible set of circumstances, this is Special Agent Candy Maxx, and you have one of her VHS tapes in your bag.
I do. Can I try to pull her over like fireman carry out of like the dust and stuff and start heading back for the door?
Absolutely. You grab Candy Maxx from the ground and carry her into the safe house. Achira, you've removed the head. Rowan is standing near you, gun still trained upon it. Look, if that doesn't do it, I don't know what the fuck to say.
You know, at this point, I don't know. I'm just thinking Nosferatu, like original. So we try this and hope that it works. I know that I've already picked this body clean because I recognize the clothes.
Well, maybe you should put that thing somewhere far away from the rest of it.
I'm going to carry this back into the safe house with us.
Or do you think that's a good idea? And she's following behind you as you're walking towards the door.
What do you want me to do? You want me to bury it?
All right. No. Take it in. Yeah, maybe the doc will say something about it. I don't know. It just seems crazy to bring the head of one of those things in here.
It's just, I mean, at least maybe have the doc look at it. These things talk and follow us and get up after headshots. I mean, I don't know Romero's like this. Do you know?
I ain't seen nothing like that until last night. Okay, let's move. By the way, tomorrow we got to send a scouting party back out here. We got to find out what's happening with these tunnels. We've got to know if we're going to be able to get back out or not. Otherwise, we're going to have a lot of conversations about how this is going to go down.
Fair enough. I'd prefer to be out rather than in here, always.
All right. So everyone retreats back into the safe house. The door is closed. Achira, I'm assuming that the door is locked again. Do you give the keys back or do you keep a hold of them?
Chira would do the same thing that she did before. We're going over to the dock like she's giving the keys and then walk away still holding possession of the keys. So therefore everyone that would see this would feel like the dock is the one in power.
A show is made. Everyone who witnesses this can roll sense motive.
Can I roll a stealth for it?
It wouldn't be stealth.
Okay.
I'll allow you to make a persuade check. Because it's not so much the action of passing off the keys, but the performance within your face that is going to matter the most.
She's not good at this. Let's see.
Ooh,
So-
finally all the good rolls come in.
You will have to beat 3 degrees of success to be able to recognize this situation.
I will put 2 competency points in it to make it
You
5.
will need to achieve 5 degrees of success to be able to witness what is really happening. So everyone who wishes to make a roll may do so. If you roll under 5 degrees of success, I'm afraid that you will not notice.
I am completely out, aren't I?
You're conscious, but you will have 3 dice of difficulty due to your impeded state.
I'll try.
Yeah, I was like,
3.
you know, whatever. I'll try.
Everyone else can roll normally, but you will have to beat 5.
What's the roll again?
It's going
Detect
to be
motives?
detect
Thank-
motives. Sorry, not sense motive, but detect motive.
Too slick for me.
I do not see shit. Negative
Yeah, you
4.
negative 4. You have no idea what is happening.
I'm face down
around
in the
you.
dirt, also still just crawling around, being sad.
And now it's unfortunate. You did roll 3 degrees of success, and you have a single competency point left over, but it's just not enough to get you through, unless someone wished to donate an additional competency point to you. That could make it a 5. Now, I don't wish to encourage anyone to do that. I am impartial. But I would say that that is the only way that you would be able to succeed at this task.
I have a question because it will pertain to this. Since detect motives is a diplomacy check, is it not? Does it fall under that?
Yes.
So I have 4 degrees of success, and I haven't used any competency points. So I'd like to use 1 to make that 5.
As everyone enters into the storehouse, people settle. It becomes quiet. There's a small clatter of the tape ending as it pops out from the VCR. Mechanically, it whirls as the tape is pushed back out. The room now is filled with the bright flashing of the television set as it hits static, and the almost comforting roll of that empty screen fills the space. Lantern light flickers as all of you, behind the security of the door, find yourself within this safe house, deep beneath the ground, somewhere outside of Pittsburgh, in a small farming community that has been utterly decimated by the dead. But something stranger is happening. The severed head that lies on the ground that Achira has brought into this place has a strange mark upon its forehead. And Lampwick, in the warm, fuzzy bubble that washes across your body as you begin to exhale, watching the ceiling undulate and breathe above you, flying off into this perfect drugged up haze of comfort, all of your pain forgotten. like an eagle perched upon a mountaintop. At the right moment, your eyes turn and shift as you watch Achira attempt to palm the keys to the safe house, making a big show about how the doctor is the one with the power. And she walks away, and you smile as your head hits the pillow. And that is where we're going to end our session tonight. Thank you once again for joining us tonight. I would like to thank all of you for being so wonderfully involved as we have told our tale. We will not be indulging you in a new Hunters Gathering this week, but we do encourage you to stay with us. We will be playing again next Tuesday, and we are excited to share with you the remaining tale to be told. Once again, thank you for your time. We will see you again next week.